Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is David from Daveden Web Dev, and on this channel, I like to talk about all things WordPress, especially about accessibility and dynamic data. If you can see me, if you can hear me, please write in the comments so that I know that everything is working and we can go on from there. So I'm just going to give it a couple of minutes to see if everything is working. Oh, hi skating choreographer. Hi Jonathan. Thanks for joining in. And we're about to start. Hopefully I can get through this well. I don't know if how far I can go. And well, just wish me all the luck in the world. I know I'm not as fast as all of those great ones that did it before, but well, we'll see how it goes. So let me just wait one more minute, and then we already know the website. Let me just go ahead and drop it in the comments so we all know what website we're working on. So here's the website. Then let me go ahead and share my own website that I'm going to be using. Yeah, thank you, Eric. Yeah, this is the website we'll be looking at, and this is what I'll be doing. This is my demo. So you can actually see it live as I build, so it's not going to be hidden. And yeah, so now let me go ahead and show you the website. Let me switch over. So yeah, this is the website we'll be working on today. It is called Buy Right Market, I think. Yeah. And the way we're going to do it is first, I'll try and build it in 30 minutes, just like the speed build. Then after that, we'll go back and we'll talk about accessibility and see what minor things we can do to improve the accessibility. And as usual, it's a discussion. It's not going to be me saying everything. I hope you all can like pitch in together and say, this is the right way to go. This is not the right way to go, because some of the things I'm going to be doing during the speed build, some people might not agree with some of the HTML elements I'll use. And I would like to hear your thoughts as I go along. So yeah, basically we just have the header section. It has the site logo. It has some links. There is no hover state, or there is a sort of hover state. Then there is another, like a secondary menu at the top. Then we have a kind of section which is before the hero section. This is surprisingly an image, which technically is not good. You should have actual text, not images, as your hero section, because this is just basically text and another text with a background image. I don't know why they had to do it as an image rather than as text, but we'll go with what they gave us. Then we have another section. I think it is a heading and some text. Then we have a split grid. Basically, one side is full screen, the other side is kind of half, but in their own case, everything just goes to the edge of the screen. Then they have links everywhere, but the links don't even have any hover state. So, well. Oh, okay. Eric, I hope you can watch the replay later and let me know what you think in the comments. So, yeah. So these are just the sections. It's just like a repeating section. So we have one section here with a call to action or a second call to action. Then we have another section with the primary call to action and a secondary call to action. Yeah. Then the same thing, the third section. And we have some cards. We have some post loop grid. And yeah, that's about it. Okay. So now let me go ahead and show you all the plugins we'll be using today. So the plugins are, oh yeah. Hello, Edward. So the plugins we're using today, obviously, like is in the title already, is that I'm going to be using Bricks. So we have Bricks. The version is 1.10.3. Let me go ahead and open it under themes. I'll zoom in just to 125%. Okay. So yeah, we have it version 1.10.3. Then the plugins, we have advanced custom fields. This was installed by them. I'm not the one who installed it. Then I'm using BricsForge simply for the BricsForge terminal. I like using terminal. Then we have core framework for all the utility classes, happy files for organizing images, and then WP code box. That's actually not used, but I just like installing it everywhere. Then for the images, they've given us some images. Yeah, definitely. This is way better than all the drama. So these are the images they've given us. So just a bunch of images, and we'll go on from there. So now, I guess I should set up my timer. The other thing I did was I already went ahead to they also created some pages. So yeah, let me show you the pages. They've created some pages already for us. Those are what they use in the menu, and they have created the menu. Then they've also created the using ACF. They've created the recipes, and just with 4 recipes. And yeah, I think that's about it. So what's left now is to start building. So here is let me try and get the clock to get to 30 minutes. So how do we get started? Okay, yes. So it's 30 minutes, and let me just go to the pages, then I'll start the clock. Yeah, so 30 minutes to start it. And this is the design we're working with. So let me try and open up on a separate page. Okay, let me switch over. Yeah. So this is the page we're working with. And I'll go ahead and start from just the home page. So yeah, the home page. Or before I do that, let me go ahead and just add the colors, because there are these colors. I think they're just. I'll just see if I can just pick the color, copy it. I'm using one color picker that is in Windows, so I just copy the colors. I'll go over to Core Framework, and I'll make that. Not sure why it's so squished, but okay. That's the primary color. Let me see. Then I'll just call this maybe secondary color. This is just to have some colors in there. And I think those are the only 2 colors. We also have this third color, but I'm not going to do the footer. I'll just do mostly the header and the main body area. So I'll start with open up the terminal, and I'll create a section for the top bar. I'll give it maybe a name of maybe DJ ads. Then within there, I'll have, I guess I'll use a div with a paragraph tag, and I'll give that a class name of DJ ads text, and in there I'll have a link with a class of DJ ads link. So I've created my ads section. So this is the ads, and this is just the link. And then within the link, I have a text. Let me get the text in. So the content is that, and then I'll just give it custom URL and just put that, save it. So now the ads section. Oh yeah, okay. So I should have made it a container, but yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, then that section should be, okay. Since I forgot. Background color should be the primary color. Oh, I haven't refreshed the page. So save, refresh, so that all the colors can come in. Oh, yeah. Did I? Sorry, let me look at the. Is the message still there? Okay, it's still there. Let me switch it up. Thank you. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't see that the message was still on the screen. Okay, so we have those two. Let's see now if the actual color is there. So style, background color. Yeah, the primary color is there now. I'll make that. No, let me move this. Okay. Then I'll give it some padding. Maybe. Let's get, yeah. Let me just give it. Okay. Then maybe I'll just make that all around. Okay. Save that. Make the text color to be white. So text, the color should be white. Okay. Then the text link, I'll just make that have a width of, can't believe I'm saying in the beginning. So the width should be typing all these things. Okay, yeah, that's it. Then I'll make it centered. So center. And I'll make the actual text center as well. Okay. Display flex. Center. Okay, that's it. Save that. That's it for the first section. The other section is the image. So for that one, I'll do another section again. So a section that is going to be the hero section. So the hero with a container. Oh, I don't even need a container because it's full screen. Then I'll just give it a div with or block. That is the hero link, no, hero wrapper, and then the image with hero image. So this will be the hero image, which is open. Okay. Then for that one, I'll make it full width. So under layout, the width will be 100% and the height will be 100% just to fill the entire block that's in. Okay. Save it. This block will be the heading, which is now the weird bit here that I'm going to do. So I'll just make this the head H1, which some people will probably not agree with because there is no H1 on the page, and I believe we need a H1, so I make that the H1. Then the image itself, I now give it the area label to be the actual text that should be in the that is written in the image. By right, market Polk Street is open. Okay, so that's the second section. Now let me look at the next section. I'll do all the other styling later. I think this should be I've just said this is the H2 and then all the other H3s under it because it looks like freshly arrived, simply delicious. Looks like the H2, I think. So I'll make that the H2. So I'll give, let me look, probably section, okay. If my terminal will open. So section, I'll give that maybe, don't know, just next section, I guess. I'll learn to name things better later. Then that will now have a container with dot next section inner, and should have within there will be heading with Next section, heading plus a basic text. I think text basic with the next section description, I guess. Okay, so we get our section, then the heading. Okay, let me make the container should be column, and it should be centered. So everything just centered. Okay. Then let me now copy the heading out of there. So the heading is called freshly something. Paste that in. Next thing. And I'll paste that in as well. Save it. I'll just keep dropping all the content first, then I'll style them later. So the next section, that's where we now get to have this split grid. So, and then I think I'll put a section, then the container. Okay, I think I'll do something like another weird design, but let's see if it works. Don't know why. I guess my keyboard is having some issues today. It doesn't open my terminal when I press it the first time. Section with dot. Now I have a utility class I created because I seem to see the split grid a lot. So I have a utility class called split grid. Or maybe I'll put that into the inner container. So section, then a container with this, followed by 2 blocks. So a block with, well, let me give it another class. Yeah, just leave it this way. Split grid. This will be called one full because it's going to be filling the screen, plus a second block for split grid with the call 2, which is not full. Hope it works. Paste. Okay. So we have our section, and then within the section we have the image, and so that this block will be for the media wrapper, and the other one will be the content wrapper. So in the media wrapper, I'll add an image. The only thing about the BricsForge terminal is that it doesn't do step up, so you can't put a child element and then go back up and put a parent element. That's why some things are limited, but at least I like it. So let me go ahead and put the image. I think this was the image. Yeah, that's the image. Then then the other one, I'll still have to give all this another class name because this is just the utility class to arrange everything. I'll give them a separate class name. Or let me just go into here and still use the terminal. See if it works. Okay, yeah, it works. So what I want now is a heading, maybe with the class name of third section. I'm just going to be calling them second section, third section. Hopefully it actually makes sense at one point. Then plus the basic text, so text basic, that third section, description, plus a button, I think, with, let's see, yeah, oh, it didn't go under. So the heading, the first heading is groceries. The second one is, just copy the whole text. Oh, I should have used it. Maybe I'll use a rich text instead, because I see they put some bold text and some other things. So the third. And then the button, that button says download app. Okay. So download app. Oh yeah, I've not been using the CS. I actually create my own variables, sort of. So I've not been following the standard BricsForge variables and core framework variables. Basically, I created my own from scratch. But yeah, I think this is the main section. So now let me start giving them. This is called third section. Then, oh no, third section, inner. And then third section, media wrapper. Section, media. Okay, and then the content. So third section, content wrapper. Okay. So I'll give the entire container a background color, I guess, which is the, I don't know what the color is this, a gray color. So that will be under the background color. I think that was my secondary color, if it worked. Secondary color, okay. Save it. Then I'll remove all of the padding. Everything should flush to the edge of the screen. So padding 0. Okay, save that. Then what else? The gap should also be 0. Don't need any gap. So gap be 0. Oh, let's just leave it the way it is. Okay, yeah. All right, then I think under the content should, or from the media wrapper itself, let me make them centered. So align item center. Do that. Yeah, that's it. I'll add the extra styling later, but at least I've given them class names. The last thing I'll do is still within the same section. I'll just add this. I'm not sure if that's the best way to do it, but yeah, I'll just add this last section underneath it. So another, maybe just put a block underneath the section, underneath the container. So a block that's full screen. Make the section itself instead of a row column. Okay. So now within that block, I'll add this sort of link thing. So I'll use maybe I'll just make it a paragraph as well, and then put a link inside. So I'll use a div and the text link. So the text link is going to have that, and it's going to be linked to just somewhere. Okay. I think we're getting there slowly. Oh no, I should have just copy this. I think there is the same. Yeah, I remember why I did that now. So it's supposed to be like an add, delete the entire block because it's just repeating. So yeah. Then I just copy that. I'll have to give it a bit more spacing, but at least we already have our ads. That's just going to be repeating everywhere. And now this time I'll just make it a div. Then the div itself, I'll make it a paragraph. Yeah, okay. So that's the second section done. Now I think it's just repeating, so I'll duplicate it twice. So duplicate this section, duplicate and duplicate. So we have our 3 sections. The third section does not have any ads, so I'll delete the ads. And yeah, I think we're almost there in terms of the design. So I'll leave the content for now. Let's go to the next section. Create another section called okay, this will be maybe offerings or something. This time I'll use actual words. So thank you, Jimmy. So yeah, this will be a section. I'll call it maybe something like offerings, because I think if I look at just all the things that they offer, so I'll call it offerings. Then within that, we have a card. I don't know if I'll make it a list. Probably I'll make it a list. Still thinking, but yeah, I'll just make it a list for now. A URL with offering grid. Then, oh no, forgot this is. I need to use it. Actually define what container it is. So it's a block. which has a tag of UL. Then within that, I have another block which has a tag of li called offering item. Then within the block, that's where we now have our card. So block again with a tag of, no, I don't need any tag, it will be a div with a class name of offering card. Yeah. And then let me see, copy all of this. Then within the card, I'll just create 3 blocks just in case I need to style anything. So I'll create one block called image wrapper, media wrapper, heading wrapper, maybe, and then body or something like that. So 3 blocks. So block, multiply by 3, and then just create that. I'll style them later. So the first one is the grid. Then the item. Then the card. Because as you can see, it's already giving me UL, LI, then the card. The card, then this will be the heading wrapper. Oh yeah. Then content wrapper. Actually, we only have 10 minutes left. I didn't even look at the time. And media wrapper. How time flies so fast. So this will be, okay, offering card header. Offering card media wrapper. Offering card content wrapper. Okay, so now in the header, let me go ahead and drop in just a heading. That will be called groceries. Everything is just caps. Then the content wrapper, I'll add a basic text. And then the media wrapper, I'll add an image. So image. Okay. And the image is just this purplish thing. Okay, this one. Okay, save them. Did I give them all class name? No class name here. So offering card title. Card media, and the basic text will be description, offering card, and finally we have a button. So that's called okay. Yep. Then for the item, I will just make, I think there will be 4 items, so 4 of them. Okay, then the grid, I'll say a maybe display grid and a grid of 4 gap. I'll say maybe the grid gap. Everything still looks weird, but let me even just finish styling this one. At least I'll say I finished one of them, because I don't think I can go further than this. Well, I'll just drop the media at the top. Give it a size of, let's see. Maybe I'll give the image a max width of maybe 20 rem. 10 rem. Then for the card, I'll just say maybe Okay. What else is there? Okay, there's a background color. So on this section, it has a background color of, I know I'm going very fast, but I'm still so slow. Then each of the cards, they will have a background color of maybe white. And the gap, why is the gap not there? Oh, I didn't finish. Okay. Then just make the media wrapper, give it an order of -1. Okay. The card itself, make everything centered. So center, media, center. Okay. Reduce the size of the image itself, maybe to 5. Give it some padding. So padding. I have 5 minutes left. And I'm nowhere to be found. Okay, edge. This will all be, oh yeah, I forgot to change all of these heading tags. So yeah, I'll just leave them H3s. And see, okay. For now, they all still look weird. Then there's your mobile. Oh, only the cards I think I have. Yeah, just make the cards grid 1 on mobile. So grid. Okay. Still getting there. Yeah, because theirs is touching the edge of the screen. That's why it's a bit bigger for them. What did I do? Okay, I made it. So let me just make the grid to be full screen and just give it some edge spacing. So padding of maybe edge space, and C. Then remove the list style, none, margin 0, padding. Oh no, should leave the padding. Okay, let's see what we have. Then, okay, at the moment, it's almost looking not too bad. It's really bad. Okay, centered. Let me just, I guess I may not be able to get to the heading, but let me just try and finish the card. So I'm on the card. Okay, center everything. So each of the items. Just make them centered. The text, make it centered. Typography, it's centered on. Why does it keep going downward? I don't know why. Then what else? Okay, so for each of them, the items, just put a flow. That'll be better. Keep adding wrong classes to the wrong item. Yeah. This is what happens when you're trying to be too fast. Card. Okay. The other card. And the last card. Should have done all these things in a better way, but yeah. Then maybe on the grid, give some top and bottom padding. maybe just make the, top and bottom should be, okay, save. Let's see how it's looking now. Not too bad. Then guess each of the content, I'll now give them a spacing, so padding of card space. Okay, and within that content again, I'll give it some gap. So row gap should have card space. Okay. Then let me just reduce the size of this text. It's quite big. So font size should be probably medium. And let's see. Okay. Still saving this. Still too big. So let me just say base. Width. Where am I? Okay. Then, I think that should do at least to a point. Then maybe let me just give some spacing here too. This is what happens when, that's why I respect all of them that were able to do this so fast. I don't know how they're able to build out of this website so fast. And mine is, for some reason, is having some styling. I don't know where it's coming from. Oh yeah, that's time up. Yep. So now, for now, so what do you guys think? Did I do well? If you can check on the live, I guess it's only the text I made a mistake and I didn't center them. But basically, this is the design. I didn't even get to the header. I guess we can continue that slowly, but that's how far I could get. Let me show you the screen again. So we have the header. Let me open up without this menu bar. Okay, so here we have the header. Then we have this section. I should have given it the size to make it like contained, because usually we don't want our text to be so long from edge to edge. It will be so hard for any user to read. So ideally, we would want to make this a bit more like constrained to like maybe 60 characters per line. Oh, thank you, Jimmy. Thank you very much. Bob, you'll be surprised if you start it, you might be able to finish faster than me. This is just me attempting and failing at my attempt. Maybe I'll try it again at a slower pace at one point. But yeah, so we have all of the section. I didn't put the spacing between the text and some other things. Yeah, so, well, I might as well just go back into it and just finish up some touches, and we'll discuss as we go along now. So let me just start from the beginning. I don't know if everybody noticed from the beginning, so let me just be naming them as we go along. So the first section, so we have this first section, which is, I somehow deleted my section for some, that's why it was weird. Instead of copying the section, I cut it, so I should have duplicated this, and then that section should be outside there, and it should be given a section tag. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. The terminal. When I tried it once, the terminal was so nice. It speeds up your process of typing, especially if you like to write code yourself a lot. So it speeds everything up. That's why I like using the terminal. I don't know, for some reason my keyboard during this live stream, I have to press the terminal like 3 times before it actually opens. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Maybe it's just the live stream. So why the terminal? it's just a faster way. Like, for example, let me just go to the bottom and how do I collapse everything at once? So if you wanted to add a section with a container and let's say 2 blocks inside and try to give them class names, you'd have had to come to the layout and click section. Then you come to the container, you go to the plus again and click maybe block, 2 blocks. Then you come into the block and then give it maybe a heading and maybe a basic text and some other things. Then you now have to go back to the beginning again and start giving each of them class names if you don't have something like advanced thema or bricks, like advanced thema or like ACSS. So you'll have to come to all of them and start giving them class names. But with the terminal, all I have to just do is open the terminal and then I say section dot maybe class 1. Then I'll say container dot class 2. So all of them just without having to move my mouse anywhere. So block dot class 3, and in here I can also give the heading tag. So I'll just say a tag of h3, something like that. And once I just press enter, so everything is created. So we have our section, which has the class name of class 1, the container class 2, block class 3, and so on and so forth. And so everything is created at one go. And see the heading, we get the HTML tag of h3, all of them at once. So that's why I love using the terminal. So yeah, do you have any questions so that we can answer them? So like I said from the beginning, if you look at their website, where's their website? At the moment, so they have this section, which probably if I was building the website from scratch, I would probably put this section, since it's like a kind of advert, I would not even put it in the main content area. I will use something like the bricks, what's it called? One of those bricks section templates, and then I'll put it before the main tag. So this is just a section that occurs before the main content, because it's just like a one of those ads that pops up. It's not really enough information to be put into the header section, and it's not enough information to be put into the main content area because it's not directly related to the main content. But it's not a header, because usually in the header, the key things we have in the header are just kind of like links. So we have our logo, we have some navigation links, you have your primary navigation there or secondary navigation, you have something like search, just basically quick links to get to places. Whereas this menu, I will classify it as a section before the main content area. Then this image, ideally it should be a like text, not image, because it's supposed to be text. But what I've done is I've made it, if you look at this is the example, look at, if I inspect it, the idea that I've made now is that, let me increase it. So now it is seen as a H1 with the image as the accessible name for that H1. Because if you go to the accessibility tree now and you check, you see the heading, it's actually a heading with that alt text. So the alt text of the image now becomes the accessible name of the heading. So at least it's not ideal, but this is the way to go if you want to use an image as your heading. So you have to do it this way. Then, so we have this other section. Ideally, it's supposed to be centered. So what I normally would do is I'll come to this section. Let me name, I don't know why they're not named. Okay, so this is hero section. Then this is, I don't know, the H2 section. So that section, I'll usually come to the container itself and then give it a width that restricts it to just a text area. So I'll say something like text width. So it doesn't go above that width. So if you come back and refresh it, So now it will be such a way that it's easy to read. And ideally, I will not even make it, if it's more than 2 lines, I would just want to make it like left aligned, like everything should be left aligned. Because once something is more than 2 lines, reading it in centered aligned text, it can be very hard to build because like especially people who have dyslexia, if the line does not start at the same point and they're reading a long text, they start to forget where they are on the in the read when they are reading. So usually when you have a long bit of text, I would prefer it, first of all, try to make it as short as possible. So something within that range whereby if you count the number of characters, it shouldn't be going over 60 characters in the line, because the ideal reading length, so that you don't have to bend your head left and right, is about 70 characters or 80 characters, I think. So the best one you should do is just go 65 characters and below should be what your text width should go. And all of that is all dependent on the kind of font you are using. So if you're using a bigger font, you may have to like reduce the size a little bit so that more can be read. So yeah, that's it for this section. Then for the other section, I have I don't know if you can, I will show you, the link will be in the description to the video where I showed how to do this split grid section. So what happens is that this text does not actually go, this is where if you look at, okay, I don't have any, but no matter what happens, the text will never touch the edge of the screen. It will only be within the length of the 1360 pixel width, but then the image will now stretch to the edge of the screen. And the nice thing about it is that it is already mobile responsive. So if I go over to mobile, it should respond ideally. So you should get the top will now be the image and then the text at the bottom. I didn't add gap, that's why it's so close together. Normally I will add some padding to the text or add some gap in the grid, but I didn't add any gap. So that's why it's looking like that. But yeah, so that's how we can get this section split grid. Then for this one, I just decided that it should be a link, then a paragraph wrapping the link. I don't know what you all think, because if you look at what I did, if you inspect it, because just having a dangling link there without, if a link is not like connected to something else, then it kind of like, it's just dangling around. So I try to put it into semantic context. That's why I put it in a paragraph text. So it's kind of like, this is a sentence, but it's also a link. So that's why I put it in a paragraph text and then put it in an A tag. I don't know what you all think. Okay, so it says, the quick question, the heading that take up full width and are very big, okay, yeah. So no, so those are not really, it's not really an accessibility concern, but more of a usability concern. It will not break any accessibility laws or like rules or guidelines, but based on what they've found out for readability is that you shouldn't put like, it shouldn't be too wide that the eyes cannot like read it, especially when it's a long amount of text. If it's just one heading, then it's fine. It's just a heading. But when it's not having like 5 lines of text and they are so big that they cover from edge to edge, after like the first 3 lines, the person is going to get tired and he's not going to read your website again. That's why the images themselves, the headings, they can be wider, but the paragraph texts, they should be just small enough so that the user can just read the first line, read the second line, and then continue reading the lines. So without having to so much stress trying to read from one edge of the screen to the other edge of the screen. So yeah, I hope that answers the question. Then, okay, yeah, I didn't do this section well. Yeah, but what I like to always do is that I like to put them into like wrapper divs so that for easy styling. So I'll put the way I always do it is this will be media wrapper, with the media inside, a header with the heading inside or a title inside. Then we have the content area or the body, and that body will now have like any metadata that may be there, or the paragraph text, excerpt, anything. Then sometimes I'll put the CTA as another div in what we now call the footer. I got that from the US design system, I think that's what it's called, US design system. Was that the, let me see if I can find it, US web design system. Yeah, that's what it's called. Under their, I believe, patterns. And no, it should be components. Yeah, components, and then cards. Yes, card. So the way they always structure their, so they have the media, the text. If you look at the structure, the way they always like to structure it is they have the, so they have header, media, body, and footer. That's how they always like to structure their card. So there'll be the header, which is the heading tag. Then there'll be media, then the body, and the footer. Then they can style it on that div. So whatever goes into the div now doesn't matter, because they've already created that structure. It's going to be on all of their cards, no matter what kind of things they put into the card. Oh yeah, okay. Glad to know about that, Jimmy. So yeah, that is basically about it. Hopefully I'll do another video where I go step by step in a more structured way of how I built the entire website. But this was basically the design. And if you have any like accessibility questions, you can let me know in the comments, and then we'll talk about it. But don't worry, in a future video, maybe next week, I'll go in a slower way, going step by step from the header section down to the footer section, and we'll see how everything I will go about it. I don't know how other people will go about it, but I will show you how I personally will go about building the entire website in a slower pace. So that should be a video that'll come out hopefully next week. And yeah, so before we go, let me go ahead and share the the accessibility day. So I hope you all can attend the WordPress accessibility day. It's going to be happening on the 9th and 10th of October. And that's it, WordPress accessibility day 2024. So you can just go ahead and, if you want to donate, you can go ahead and donate. Let me go ahead and copy it and put it in the comments. So that's for the WordPress accessibility day. If you want to register, so this is the events happening. Oh yeah, I shared the wrong website, the main website instead of the actual registration website. So this is where you can register for the event. It's a free event. It's 24 hours of just different talks on accessibility. So let me show you the registration link, so that in case you don't know much about accessibility, this is one event that you should attend. You just go ahead and pick the schedule is already out, so you can go ahead and check the schedule and register, and go ahead and check what the calendar is going to be about, and see which ones you can work with. Let me see if I can find where the actual calendar is. And for Elementor users, you'll be happy to know that Elementor is actually sponsoring the event. That means they are taking so much into accessibility as well. They are putting in efforts to make their plugin accessible. So don't put them down too much, because they are doing their best. And yeah. So yeah, that's it for today. I'll just give it a minute. If you have any questions, please do write your questions in the comments, and even in the replay. If you're watching it in the replay, you can still ask questions. I will try my best to go through those questions and answer them as best as I can. And like I said, hopefully by next week, I should come up with another video where I'll go step by step how I designed the entire website and what accessibility ideas that I'll have put when building the website. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. So, bye.